Star Trek is pretty hot right now, with enough shows to practically fill the Paramount Plus app and then some. Characters like Picard, Data, Janeway, and even more recently, Q and Guinan have all made returns to the small screen. While I haven't always been fond of some of these handlings, which I've talked about in various other videos, it is nice to open new doors and close some that maybe weren't exactly closed properly to begin with. Because of this, I thought it best to journey back to 2005 with Star Trek Enterprise. The show ended on a sour note, and a year ago I actually did a video explaining what was to happen if Enterprise returned for a 5th season. This time, in today's video, I'm going to pitch what if Jonathan Archer returned his own show, starring the always wonderful Scott Bakula. So, stay tuned, click subscribe, and do all that fancy stuff to help the channel out. Let's get started. One of the only good things to come from the repulsive These Are the Voyages is the fact that Archer would be the one to sign in the Federation Charter and start the Federation as we know it, with the character going on to be Admiral in Starfleet. It was noted in production art for the show that Archer would actually go on to be President of the Federation of Planets in 2184. This is roughly 23 years after we last saw the character. This is exactly where I would start the show off in a pseudo miniseries spanning a character dissection into Jonathan Archer for 8 total episodes. Star Trek Archer, the title of the show, would focus on Jonathan Archer's days as president in a drama unlike anything seen in the Star Trek universe. This period of time, leading up to Star Trek Discovery, is about 100 years of unspoken history that is needing to be written. This time period wouldn't be used to have catastrophic wars or end-of-universe cataclysms, but simple drama written about the Federation's rise. The writing would be borderline legal drama on the framework of how Archer dealt with various races coming to terms with joining a giant faction and the divide to come from that. Humanity has been growing exponentially, and the launch of the Enterprise would fuel Starfleet in particular with what to do next. Should humanity continue to explore the stars? Or should it bring itself back to a more isolated view? Is expansion dangerous? And with the power of the Enterprise and development of new technology, should military options be explored? These are all things Archer would have to decide, while ultimately building to the history we know with upcoming shows like Discovery and of course the original series. Ideas that have been presented in the franchise so far, such as the militarization in Starfleet as seen in Into Darkness, would be a great sticking point for modern-day commentary, as well as a Trek storytelling.
Believing that a superior intelligence could help us protect ourselves from whatever came at us next.
Recent Trek shows have used their time to address issues in past Treks, specifically with the future of some characters and the death of others, like Data. I think this would be a great time to address the meaningless, poorly written death of Trip Tucker as seen in These Are the Voyages, which I'm so tired of saying that title. This wouldn't be a recreated scene as seen in Picard, but merely how Archer dealt with the passing of his friend and shipmate. Finally, I know that Enterprise ended pretty sour for a lot of the cast and crew. In fact, a lot of them had issues with how their characters were handled. I would hope that bringing back Archer in this capacity would allow us to bring back some characters. And my candidates would be bringing back helmsman Travis Mayweather, who would now be a Starfleet pilot instructor, Hoshi Sato, who would now be teaching linguistics in Starfleet, and finally, Dr. Phlox, who could be literally doing anything. I think we just want to see Dr. Phlox back. So, in conclusion, I believe an Archer return would net significant gain for those upset by the end of Enterprise, as well as those wanting to see a bit more of their beloved character. It would open doors for a drama, in my mind, in the vein of The West Wing, where navigating the politics of the Federation, as well as various Starfleet diplomats, would be vastly interesting. Furthermore, including several loved characters from Enterprise as well as some returning ones would be a great way to further their stories as well as conclude what Enterprise didn't do so well. So, what do you guys think? Stupid idea, great idea, okay idea? Scott Bakula has aged gracefully and I think could easily pick up where he left off in a captivating role. Let me know what you think down in the comments and I'll see you on the next video. If you're still here, consider heading over to my Patreon where I post unique content, upcoming reviews, and channel updates frequently. Thank you, and you have a great 2022.